Well, hello and welcome and welcome and hello and hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in to Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. It is Monday. I believe it's July 15th, 2024. It's about 9 a.m. out here in beautiful sunny Los Angeles. Hope it's a great day wherever you guys are. What's up, Bobby Joe? How's it going today? I'm going to make this one really quick, guys. I have a ton of big dog work to do today, just swamped and other stuff going on. But I wanted to touch base because SoFi is doing exactly what we thought it was going to do. Quite frankly, it's breaking out on heavy volume. And this is not retail buying the stock. Trust me, guys. They had this stock down in the low sixes just a few days ago, and it was only trading 15, 16 million shares a day. So retail is full of shit. They're not accumulating down there. They say they are. Maybe some of you guys are selling covered calls, whatever. You're obviously getting called. I did mention I'm not selling this close to earnings. Because I see this wedge, guys. This is confirmed for me. We're above the 50-day moving average. This thing keeps gapping up. And then there are several other factors that confirmed this was going to happen. They stopped shorting the stock basically for the last 8 or 9 trading days. The volume completely died. People thinking they're going to push this to 5, just completely detached from the reality of the business. What has SoFi been telling you? I mean, it's so stupid, these guys. Like last quarter, okay, look at what they guide for and then what they deliver. Okay, so last quarter they're guiding on the high side for 560. They delivered 581. Now they're 565. Everybody thinks it's going to be a big miss. And, there's an analyst who just came out and downgraded from 2 cents EPS to 0 cents. I think it was Seaport. I can't remember. But there's a reason these guys have absolutely no credibility because Noto just came out and said in an interview, we continue to be profitable. So that means in any reading of that, any reasonable person is going to say that's at least 1 cent gap net EPS, or else he would have never said that. Not this close to earnings, not in an interview on public TV. So they're going to make at least 1 cent. So that $10 million guidance to the high side, they're going to beat that. I guarantee you they're going to beat that number. There's no question in my mind. Chris Lapointe came out and said, tech is exploding now. Remember that. He said, we have dozens of customers that are in the early stages of monetization or being currently onboarded. Dozens. And they're averaging 3 million members. It's just what my napkin math was telling you. I made a video about this. SoFi with Galileo is in the process. If you just do simple math based on what the facts management gives you in these interviews, they're currently onboarding, 40, 50 million new members with Galileo, at least with he said at least several dozen, he said dozens of accounts. So that's at least 24, could be more, could be in the 30s, could be 50. We don't know. But management's telling us 80 cents, and they're always sandbagging. They're telling us 80 cents 2026. Business banking is not in that guidance. Options are not in that guidance. Everybody's raving about the opportunities with credit cards. SoFi has these high-quality, huge membership base that's growing all the time, growing deposits. Putting out premium credit cards is just going to be free money, but they have to be very disciplined. It's like Ray Liotta said, we just have to be careful how we do it, Karen. As long as I keep getting the stuff from Pittsburgh. It's like, Noto had to put the short's head in a vice to get the name Charlie M. You made me put your head in a vice. Charlie M. Charlie M. Frankie, do this guy a favor. Anyway, hello and welcome and hello. So the other thing we have to look at that he mentioned, I think it was Lapointe who mentioned it, cross-selling has increased rapidly among the new members they're adding. It was, I forget the exact percentage, but a huge increase in the percentage of members that added a second product within 30 days. Dramatic increase. Okay, very strong funds, loans. Oh yeah, this is direct deposits. Direct deposits just continue to increase. Nobody thought they were going to get $3 billion in new deposits last quarter. I think they're going to get even more this quarter. Guys, this is a snowball rolling downhill. Those 600,000 high quality members they added last quarter, those members are adding to the bottom line. Yeah, some of the old members that aren't active dropped off, and the membership number doesn't really mean a lot. It's what are the new members doing? What are the active members doing? And they are buying SoFi. They're putting their deposits with SoFi. They're using SoFi's products. They're cross-selling. When this business banking ends up and we get small business checking and we're able to process credit card payments, dump them into SoFi business checking accounts, it's a game changer, guys. None of that's in the guidance. None of that's in the guidance. These bears, these clowns, these douchebags, they know it. They know it's smoke and mirrors. You heard the bologna sandwich trying to talk in circles for 90 minutes about how fair value accounting was going to doom the company and the book value is fictitious. And it's just, remember his guy who was keeping his chair warm over at BTIG, Lance Jesserun, came out on a pump at like 15. The guy disappeared. There's a new guy at BTIG. The bologna sandwich has been holding that $4 line for, I guess whatever it is, a year now. It's just take a look at the analysts that have actually talked to management, actually bothered to do homework. I don't understand how you're a hold with an $11 price target. The stock, when you put this hold on, it was below 7. So he was a hold with like 65% upside. Doesn't mean a whole lot. KBW is always part of these short attacks. Remember the New Year's attack, the parrot, the bullet ball head, the bowling ball headed parrot, Michael Perito. They took him off the stock. They added this new guy, and he's downgrading with Barclays, the three amigos of FUD. BTIG, they replaced the Lance Jesserun with this Vincent Sintelig. He was with somebody else. It's just musical chairs with the bulls. And Bill Ryan, I think from Seaport, he's the one that just downgraded EPS to 0 cents this quarter. Noto just said they remain profitable. Who do you believe? I mean, I believe Noto. So that's essentially what we're looking at, guys. It's not only the evidence the shorts are giving up, but institutions are buying the stock. I mean, that's what's important. Is like, I keep hearing the trolls who have disappeared and gone quiet in my comments are like, institutions are just all dumping. No, the Qatari, private equity fund, or not private equity fund, sovereign wealth fund, whatever it is, they dumped. I don't know why they dumped. They were stupid. Because the stock is breaking out as soon as they did that. But if you look at the facts, instead of listening to people just who don't know what they're talking about, the facts are SoFi institutional ownership is at an all-time high. Okay? That's the fact. Look at the chart. It's not just some big fat idiot telling you. I'm not just making it up. And then look at all these filings, guys. This is just the last couple days, just those last 3 or 4 days. And yes, there's a few companies selling the stock. Look at SG Americas increasing their position by 2,200%, 350,000 shares. There's a few companies selling off some shares, but the vast majority of these are buying shares. Don't believe the fictitious narrative the bears and shorts are selling you that everyone's dumping. It's not. They're not. They're buying. That's the facts. Those are the facts. If you look at volume, look at the monthly, guys. Look at when this thing was low. Okay, down here in the 6s. Look at these lows. Look at the volumes. 18 million. That's 34 million. This was a weird candle. But over here, you have 30 million. It increases a little bit. Down in these are 15 million. They're positioning for this pump. The smart money is obviously positioning for. Why would they take this stock to 5? Even if they're not able to meet that 80-cent mark, and I think they're going to exceed it dramatically. I wouldn't be at all surprised they earn $1 in 2026. Remember, Noto wants to watch some of the Stock Goats recent videos on Noto and that $45 price target to achieve some of his stock options. Noto's not playing around. He doesn't care that the stock was just at 6. He doesn't care that the stock was at 4. He cares where the stock is a few years from now. And he's setting this thing up to pump free cash. I mean, not free cash, but earnings per share. I mean, SoFi is still losing free cash in an accounting basis. It's kind of a fugazi because the deposit, it's how do deposits and loans go on their books, it's assets. or liabilities, but in reality, the company's making money. That's what's important. And Noto said they continue to make money, and there's a fight today going on here, guys. So let's take a look at the shorts. Let's take a look at the order book. Let's take a look at some data, because it's nice to know what's actually going on rather than just what the media and the shorts want to tell you what's going on. So 18%. Fintel says it's over 18%. Cost to borrow still extremely low. Remember, net borrowed change only 2 million today. So they didn't return anything on Friday. This is not, big returning activity. Cost to borrow, I don't know why it's turned off. Go back to the overview. Again, look, volume just picking up last few days, guys. It was 22 million. Last few days, they're setting up. They're positioning. Why SoFi Bank lost 34%. This was basically an article in Motley Fool they're talking about. It's just a lot of uncertainty with the loan business, it was a fair point, but a lot of it was FUD. Remember, they hedged against that risk in Q4 2023. So Noto knew what was coming. He knows exactly what fair value accounting is, as does LaPointe, and they are, setting this thing up to continue to make profits, not only Q2, but if you look at the projections for net income this year, like 160 million, and what they've done so far, if it's only 10 million, that means Q3 and Q4 are going to be very, very, very good. And remember, what Mr. Market cares about is guidance. The problem with Q1, I think why the stock sold off, yes, I think it was just set up and it was preordained and the shorts were going to short it no matter what. But I think the reason they were able to get away with it was the weak guidance for Q2. You're not going to have that this time. That's why they're buying the stock now. That's why the shorts, are going to tuck tail and run, I believe, before the ER comes out, because Q3 and Q4 guidance, meaning full year guidance, they're going to beat and raise. It's going to be very, very, very strong. And think about it. The top end of guidance is 10 million GAAP net income. The low end is 5 million. Noto just said in an interview a couple of days ago, we remain profitable this quarter. I mean, he didn't say the words this quarter, but if it wasn't this quarter, he would not have said that, period. He would be warning. So, 10 million is not even 1 cent. So they're going to beat and raise. It's just going to happen. Like the sun's going to rise tomorrow. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello, and welcome. Sorry about the little bit of a rant here today, but I'm just excited. SoFi finally moving, pulling back down a little bit, but look at the shares, guys. Volume dying down, algo trying to kick in, but they're still placing orders. They're still buying the stock. At the end of the day, yeah, they might be able to control it one day, one more week, but if there's a huge, guidance raise for this year, they reaffirm guidance for 2026, maybe there's new tech customers announced, maybe there's new, complete new business segments announced. Think, what other company is just going to announce something like business banking? What other bank can announce that? What other company can take that on? There's these other online banks. They're not doing private equity. They're not doing IPOs. They're not doing a lot of the stuff SoFi's doing. They're one-trick ponies. SoFi's building a one-stop shop. SoFi is building a monster. You're getting in. It was just Not a Lurker. By the way, thank you to Not a Lurker and Alberto Bertiables for moderating the show, and Not a Lurker for producing the show. Sent me a tweet by Data Driven Investing, Deadliest Catch Chris, who, when he's not fishing for crab on the Bering Sea, he's tweeting and Xing away. And he's basically talking about how the stock is still extremely undervalued at these levels. It's like the fundamentals and the narrative just haven't matched each other. And at some point, reality slaps these shorts and bears in the face like a cold salami, and that's what's happening here, guys. Their colleagues are flipping. They're buying it. They see it. They see the confidence from Noto. They see the confidence from LaPointe. And more importantly, I think they see the confidence from Derek White. They're looking at this thing. They're like, smart money, really long-term smart money with an eye for value is just going to be accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. It won't be long before institutional ownership's over 50%. Yes, they keep diluting, but they're going to keep buying in. If these turds buy all of a firm and they buy all of Robinhood, they're going to buy SoFi. Their egos, whatever it is, they're going to get out of the way and they're going to buy the stock. There was a ton of fear surrounding student loans, a ton of fear surrounding the loan book, but more and more ERs pile up. The more evidence you have to suggest that management delivers what they say they're going to deliver. And management deserves a certain amount of credibility. I mean, I'm not saying, okay, a 3-year track record is everything and they're going to keep delivering everything they say forever. Of course not. You have to look at the facts. You have to look at the trends. You have to hold their feet to the fire. But management, Noto looked almost confused. They're like, aren't you disappointed in the stock price? The lady was interviewing him, and he's like, yeah, I mean, it just, he looked bewildered. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me that this is in the sixes, given what the market prices companies like Palantir and CrowdStrike, and there's anybody who says AI, they're like, how do you use AI? He's like, we use AI in our company, but I'm not going to pump on the basis of AI. Our business activities are actually profitable. We're growing rapidly. I mean, this 16% thing they're talking about, if they just beat by the same amount they beat last quarter, that 16 becomes 20. So you're getting 20% growth in very adverse conditions. Think about when rate cuts come. 20%, 16%, forget about it. It's not even going to be a factor. You're going to see growth numbers back 30%, 32%, 35% year-on-year revenue growth next year. You're going to see it. Could even be more. Look at the EBITDA margins they're hitting, guys. I mean, this company is going to have incredible margins as they add revenues, as they add members. They don't add any costs. They don't add any real estate. They barely add to the head count. This company is set up to print money. Wall Street knows it. They see it. They've been lying about it. And they're flipping. It's flipping, guys. It's not going back to 5. It's not going back to 4. It's not falling apart. It's not going bankrupt. They don't need a bad money raise. They are perfectly positioned for this explosion in demand once rate cuts come. Galileo's perfectly positioned to get these dinosaurs into the 21st century so they can start offering consumers what they need to be competitive with banks like SoFi. I mean, I don't know, guys. It's un poco mas, by the way. It's Danny Deals. Hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome and hello. I don't know who's here. Payush is here. Big P representing Memphis, Tennessee. SoFi Tech is a huge winner. Yeah, guys. I mean, if Trump survived, obviously, this assassination attempt, that's a whole different thing. Noto came out. He's supporting, obviously, concern. I'm not hugely surprised by that. I think a lot of people were, but I wasn't at all because, they sued the Biden administration. They keep playing games with these student loans, like, stretching things out and just uncertain. What Noto really resented was the uncertainties. Like, just tell me the rules of the game so that I can run my business. Like, I have shareholders to answer to, I have employees to answer to, and I have customers to answer to. And we just have no idea what's going to happen. You can just keep kicking the can down the road. I think anybody'd be upset by that. I mean, I frankly think, this is not a big political show. I wish we had other choices between these two, to be completely honest with you. But, I don't think Biden's been terrible for the economy by any means. I think the economy's done very well. I think SoFi's done very well. In terms of the inflation, I don't blame Trump or Biden for that. I mean, everybody panicked during COVID and they just printed an absolute ton of money. Just everybody was writing checks, rent checks, unemployment checks, PPP checks. They're just giving businesses millions. So, I mean, any economist would tell you inflation was going to result. I mean, I think it's come down. I think the Fed's done a reasonably good job. I'm not really trying to lay political blame, but I think SoFi will do very, very well, whether Biden wins or Trump wins. And yes, Trump is going to be more pro-business, not going to give any breaks to lenders. It's going to probably, take some of the teeth out of this Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, all that stuff. So all of that's going to be good for banking, going to be good for lenders, going to be good for industry, and going to be good for SoFi shareholders. But I think if Democrats were to win, SoFi would do very, very well, just the same. And so, during this last administration, I think SoFi's performance has been incredible. So I have no reason to believe they wouldn't do very well either way. But I think, yes, Noto's absolutely right. They would do much better under a conservative administration. Doesn't mean that's where I'm headed. I have so many issues. It's so difficult because, politics used to be about policy and now it's just about insanity. I don't know. I don't really get our politics anymore. It's not even politics. I have a political science degree amongst others, but I don't know. What we're doing now is not politics. It's just I don't know. It's like seems like theater of the absurd, but I'm certainly, glad Trump didn't get killed. I mean, you could imagine the chaos. Just, obviously I hope nobody gets killed. I always renounce violence. Just more of never for violence. Don't think violence is the answer. You have to accept results. You have to, accept if we're going to have democracy, everybody has to accept the results, and violence just doesn't work. But it's very fortunate, I think, for the country that little nutcase missed. And I just wonder, like, where was the security? Where was the Secret Service? Just the guy was on a rooftop, like right there. I mean, very, very close by. It just seems implausible, impossible that they could let that happen. Let the guy get off a shot. I mean, it's just the fact is he just missed, or Trump moved his head. But it seems like Secret Service should. Whoever is in charge of that detail should be fired immediately, and just need to do a hard look, because that's not like the guy was like a mile away. I mean, he was right there. So it's just crazy to me. I don't get it. I don't get how they let that happen. But I'm not a security expert or anything like that. So sorry, guys, just ranting. But I mean, politics is just like gotten totally out of hand. Like we just, politics and violence used to not be a thing in America. Up until very, very recently, our politics were not violent. It was always, they had, even when I was younger, like you had collegial, I always mispronounce that, debates, and like Tip O'Neill and the Democrats and Republicans, they were all friends. They all went for drinks. They all, they all knew each other's families, and things actually got done. And, unfortunately now it's like everybody's on this like perpetual victimhood war footing, and we get absolutely nothing done. Our debt spirals completely out of control, and we all just kind of whistle past the graveyard. But that's my thing, is like, who's prepared to actually take on, our obligations and our debt and get real with it? But I don't think anybody is, quite frankly, at least nobody in politics. But I was saying last time, like, that's why we don't, elect like medical doctors and engineers very often, because these are people that actually solve problems, actually get things done. Like, we just elect lawyers, and I don't have anything against lawyers. I have a family, family full of them, but they make money on the churn. They make money creating problems more than solving problems. Like, you don't go to law school and learn how to like constructively solve problems. You sort of learn how to argue both sides, how to make money, but how to bill, in 6-minute increments, whatever it is. But trust me, if you look at Congress and you look at the courts, it's definitely not a master class in problem solving, getting things done. Like, if you imagine we had to like go to war now or something, like, an effort as Herculean as like World War II, Greatest Generation stuff. I just wonder, is America up to that task anymore? Are we able to actually function like we once were? I have my doubts. But anyway, guys, sorry, enough of my, giant long Karen rant. SoFi just holding on to that 5% gain pretty nicely. Volume has slowed way down, but it's not, so slow that it's just going to give everything up and the algo is going to kick back on. I think, institutions, remember Cathie Wood was buying heavily at like 780. And when they were shorting this thing a couple of months back, it was from the 680 to 720 levels. They were shorting really, really heavily. So the shorts could have covered, down there, 630, 640. The stock definitely churned down there for a few days if they wanted to. But it looks like they didn't. So they continue to short. I think they're going to re-short. They're going to have to create some type of FUD narrative that interest rate cuts are not going to come, or that SoFi's loan book is, falling apart to a degree that just doesn't match reality. But again, that's when I listen to the bologna sandwich, that mind-numbing 90 minutes, when I listen to all the bears, when I listen to the note on EPS being cut to 0 cents, there's never any substance to it. They never address numbers. They never address growth. They never address deposit growth, membership growth. They never address what Chris LaPointe said about Galileo accounts, how many they're adding. If you listen to what he said and you actually think about the numbers and you think about how many members that they're adding, more members with each company they bring on board, the platform now, you could be looking at a huge membership growth number for Galileo, which I think would do wonders for the SoFi stock price. Anyway, guys, I've got a meeting. I've got to run. Haven't really said anything useful. I'm already 3 minutes late. It's 9:33 on July 15, 2024. It's a Monday. SoFi stock is up 5% on a nice volume. It's slowed down, but it's still chugging along nicely. You want to see, a couple thousand shares a tick is really good. We're seeing that 2,000, 7,000. Of course, how the orders come across is not like uniform. It's exactly real time. Certainly not on Yahoo. But anyway, I just try to look at the numbers. I try to look at the actual trend and try to steer clear of too much double talk. And if you look at the actual numbers, the actual trends, it doesn't matter what you look at, members. And remember, this cross-selling of products has increased rapidly among the newest members they have. That's very, very important. Galileo accounts are onboarding a bunch of new accounts right now, dozens. LaPointe just said that. Very, very important. Financial services growing extremely rapidly. Very, very important. Direct deposit. Most new SoFi money customers direct deposit within 30 days because what they want is that sweet, sweet interest rate. And they love SoFi. Customers love SoFi. That's another thing the bears never want to talk about. These ratings is not only like NerdWallet, all the others. SoFi's always rated top for everything because they give people a better deal. They help people get their money right. And SoFi earns the right to win every single day. And it's about time Wall Street started recognizing that like they are today. They're buying the stock. Shorts are in deep, deep trouble. Don't know exactly what to do. We'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. Will they pull it, right back down like they do so often? It just doesn't look like it to me. There's so many things that are happening. There's so many catalysts. They're right into the ER. SoFi can make a huge announcement at any time in terms of business banking, options, in terms of another big partnership. Remember, they got slaughtered with the NBA deal. Every good thing that SoFi has announced, from GAAP net profit, they just get beat on. They just get slaughtered. They just get beaten down by Wall Street, but it can't happen forever. Fundamentals matter, profits matter, and, shorts are about to find that out. Maybe I'll come back at you guys. Got to get on my meeting. Already 5 minutes late. Hope everybody has a good one. It's Un Poco Mas. It's Danny Deals. I appreciate everybody watching, and enjoy the ride, guys. Peace. I'm out.